Hey love, welcome back. For those of you who are new to my channel, thank you for subscribing. I am Pauline and I am the owner of Entourage Beauty and Wellness, where we talk about Locs beauty and wellness on this channel. So today I wanted to talk about a popular topic that I feel like some people typically get confused by, okay? So hopefully this will clarify a lot of things for you. What are microlocks? Microlocks, what are they? So a lot of people get confused by microlocks. Some people refer to Sisterlocks as microlocks. Some people refer to, I guess, extra small locks as microlocks. But overall, in general, microlocks is just locks that are typically smaller than traditional locks or bigger than Sisterlocks. So it's like right in between. Some people get microlocks when they do not want to get Sisterlocks. They don't want to get locks as small as Sisterlocks. So when people are referring to microlocks, it's just really small locks. Typically when we're referring to microlocks, we're referring to, as far as locticians, we're referring to locks that are a little bit bigger than Sisterlocks, okay? The microlocks, depending on the size you go with, it can be palm rolled or it can be interlocked. Also for microlocks can look different for everyone depending on your density, your hair density. And when we say density, we're referring to the amount of hair in a particular area. So if we're looking at a square inch, it's pretty much the number of hair that is in that square inch. So some people will have a whole lot more strands in that one area than someone else. So depending on your density will determine how your microlocks will look. And also depending on the thickness of the strand of your hair will determine how your microlocks will look. Why do I say that? Some people have really thick hair and high density, meaning the strand of their hair is very thick, and then the amount of hair they have in that square inch is plenty. Like there are a lot of strands. So if someone with thick, high density hair wants to get microlocks, you would want to go on a smaller end for your locks to look small. Now, how small you go, that is up to you. Pretty much anything, any locks that are small are considered microlocks, okay? Now, for someone who has very fine hair, like the strand of their hair is very fine, that person might be missing the core of their hair. So the hair strand is made up of 3 layers: the cuticle layer, which is the outer layer, the cortex, and the medulla. Some people with fine hair do not have the medulla included. So if they have very fine hair and low density, meaning there's less hair in that square inch, the strand of their lock is going to look extra small. It's going to look really small. So there are some people that say when we're thinking about looking into Sisterlocks, some people say, oh, that person has micro Sisterlocks. But you can't, and it's because the strand of their hair is really, of the lock is really fine. And so people get the different sizes confused. So that's why that consultation is extremely important when it comes to figuring out the size of lock that you want, and when it comes to figuring out overall what is the general look you're going for. My locks, my strands are really small, but my hair is more on I have fine hair, and I also have it's not a low density, but it's not a high density either. So I'm right in the middle. Okay. So because my hair is fine, my locks look small. Now, if I had a thicker hair strand, then my locks would probably look a little bigger. So it is very possible for someone to have Microlocs that's not Sisterlocks, but for the hair to look like Sisterlocks, because their density and the thickness of their hair is, they have low density and fine hair. So even if they go with a bigger parting size, the strand of the lock will still look small like Sisterlocks. And that's how some people confuse people with Microlocs with Sisterlocks. Okay. Also, you have some people who have Sisterlocks, but they have thick hair, high density, and sometimes people want to question, do you have Sisterlocks? They do. It's just that they have thick strand of hair, high density. So if they go with like the medium to large size of Sisterlocks, their hair will look more on the, Microloc size. And someone with Microlocs strand hair can be smaller than theirs. I hope this is all making sense. But pretty much Microlocs is just smaller, is typically a smaller version of traditional locks and little bit bigger than Sisterlocks. And it has a lower lock count. So typically most people who have Microlocs are in that 300 count range. It could be less than 300 depending on, once again, the thickness and the density of their hair. But usually someone with 250, 300, 350 locks, those are typically people will refer to as having Microlocs. When someone have Sisterlocks, they're typically in that 400 and up range. Now, there are some people with Sisterlocks with a lower lock count, like 350, 375, and it will still be considered Sisterlocks. There are different variations that will be considered as to why they have a lower lock count. So we're not going to go into that, but typically 350 locks and less, 350 locks or less will be typically people who have Microlocs. 350 and up, I put those people in the over 350, I put them in the Sisterlock range, right? Okay, so for my visual folks, this is one of my Sisterlock clients. She has high density hair. Her hair diameter is about medium thickness. So as you can see, her hair is frizzy, but it comes with her curl pattern. Now, here are Microloc clients. The rest of the clients will all be Microlocs. She has fine hair, medium density. So because of that, her hair looks just like the previous client you saw, Sisterlocks. The only difference is the parting size. But as far as the strand of the lock, it looks similar. So yes, everywhere she goes, people are like, I love your Sisterlocks, but they're really Microlocs. They're not Sisterlocks because she doesn't have the pattern. She doesn't have the, the grid. She doesn't have the lock count. So therefore, these are considered Microlocs, okay? Which are just small locks. Okay, so here are some more details, right? So this is my Microloc client. She has fine hair, medium density. I want to focus on the parting size on this one, right? So you can see the strands is still small, the lock strand, right? But her parting size is 1/2 inch. Anything less than a 1/2 inch parting size is considered Sisterlocks. You are in a Sisterlock field. Some people want smaller than this, but say, oh, but I don't want Sisterlocks. If you go smaller than this, you're in the Sisterlock category, right? Her lock strand is 1/8 of an inch thick. So you can see it's just that one thick. It's just 1/8 of an inch thick. Some people with Sisterlocks will have this lock strand, but it's because of the density and thickness, the diameter of their hair. Her hair is from 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch parting size, okay, because she did not want them small. Here's another client of mine with Microlocs. She has fine, low density hair. So because of that, I went a little bit smaller to give her a bit more volume. This is her install day, right? So her parting size is 3/8 of an inch up to 1/2 of an inch. This is her 6 months in. As you can see, her strands got a little thicker from the install day, right? But it still look really small like Sisterlocks, and a lot of people think she has Sisterlocks. This is her at 1 year, and her locks still skinny. They're pretty much gonna condense a little bit more, but pretty much that's it. This is another client of mine. Her parting size is 1/2 inch. She has, really nice grade of hair, but because of her hair, the characteristic of her hair, it looks like this. Nice, and it looks small, but hey. This is another Microlocs client of mine. Parting size, 1/4 inch. Towards the front, I did some 3/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch. Here's another client. Hers is 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch. If I keep saying 1/4 inch, I really mean 1/2 inch. But here's that client is 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch. Okay. So this is another client of mine. I did not start her locks. She started off with comb coil, and the person just put pretty much any pattern. But her locks are she has some locks that are 1/4 inch. I really mean it this time. And then some are 3/8 of an inch. Okay. Now look at this client here. This is my client. She has high density, thick, coarse hair, right? Her parting size is 1/2 inch. But look at the thickness. Each strand of lock is just juicy, right? It's thick, but it's because of her hair. Look at that volume, but it's her hair. This is another client, same parting size. And look at the volume. So you're seeing the difference from people with fine, low density hair to medium density, medium thickness, to now you're seeing clients with high density, thick, coarse hair, and you see the volume, the thickness. So you see the variations, in Microlocs. So although they all, for the most part, have about the same parting size, anywhere from 1/2 inch, some will have some 3/8 of an inch, but still thick. Look at that, thick. So why would someone want Microlocs? Now that you know what Microlocs are, why Microlocs? Well, someone will typically get Microlocs because they want their hair, they want their locks a little bit thicker. They don't want it as small because, some people have that fear of, oh, I don't want Sisterlocks because they're too thin, my hair will break. That's another reason why the consultation is important. So typically someone will get Microlocs because they want their locks to be a little bit bigger. They will get Microlocs to avoid a high cost. Now, depending on where you go, some people's Microloc fees are just as high as Sisterlocks. So just do your research. But Microlocs are typically cheaper than Sisterlocks. So people would choose Microlocs due to size, the cost, time spent in the chair. Some people don't want to spend 2-3 days getting Sisterlocks, so they will get Microlocs. And because it's lesser locks you're spending less time in the chair. That also depends on who's your consultant, who you're going to, that person's speed, and how they have their time schedule. So, but typically Microlocs take less time to install than Sisterlocks because you're having fewer locks put in. Another reason why someone would get Microlocs is because Microlocs, to be honest with you, looks like Sisterlocks. So because of the look, people will get Microlocs because it's the closest thing they can come to with Sisterlocks, less the cost, with less cost, less time, less everything. So those are the reasons why someone would consider Microlocs, and hope I've kind of helped you to understand the difference between, I hope I've helped you understand what are microlocks and not get confused by them. So if you have any questions, comment below, subscribe, and like if you enjoyed this piece. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great day.